What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? Chancellor T here with some tidbits of wisdom, and I just wanted to touch on a few subject matters. Lately, I've been making posts, and they are not being added onto Facebook, so I don't know if they're being scrutinized, monitored, and excluded, or whatever. This is as far as my video posts. And sometimes when I write posts about the demonic or demons, exposing demonic spirits and exposing the setup of demons, then it also somehow does not get put on to the timeline to where people can learn from that or be pricked to or incited to learn, whether they want to learn or not to learn. But I kind of understand why, because you're getting too close to the truth, and they don't want people to know the power that they have over demons, they have over their flesh, and the authority God gave them. You know, when He sacrificed His soul on the cross for our sins, and He didn't just do that just so we might be saved. If we grab a hold of that, He also did it so we can have power and authority, not like superhero powers, but holy and God-given right powers to combat evil, true evil on true levels, not fictional evil or non-fiction, whatever. Yeah, fictional evil, real evil. Okay. So anyway. All right. So, like, basically, you know, it's kind of hard to talk about this stuff that's going on nowadays without choosing a side and getting on a side and buying into the divide and conquer narrative, because it's so divisive that I'm talking about this liberalism versus nationalism debate. You got to remember, I'm a child of God. I'm coming from a God standpoint. I'm not coming from a worldly standpoint. I'm going to always bring it back to God, because that's where the foundation of the real battle and the real truth is going on. So, you know, it's that's what they want. They want divide and conquer. We can argue and divide and conquer, not divide and conquer. We can argue with each other, our sides, till we're blue in the face. But if neither side's willing to listen or adhere to what the other person is saying, you're just using a lot of words and you're not getting anywhere. Ain't no teaching going forth. My aim is to educate, not to offend, to enlighten, so you might see through the games and manipulations that are being played. That's my sole aim. That's what God called me to do, and I believe that He gave me the wisdom to do, and what He tells me to do is to bring forth the information. Sometimes I'm like, ain't nobody really listening to what I'm saying. And even if I got brothers and sisters in Christ that agree with me, which is cool, and I appreciate all you guys. I appreciate your support over the years and the love that you have shown. But even then, I already know you guys are all right. You're safe. You know, it might also be, you know, I'm not thinking God could be using that information to help sharpen your axe. You know what I'm saying? Just sharpen iron as iron sharpens iron. You feel what I'm saying? So let me just get off of that. But, you know, I don't want to do it sometimes. Like, I'll just learn the information myself. I'll be informed, and but I don't want to get sucked into this argument, you know. But there's some things you got to do and say. Jesus had confrontation because He had to speak truth at times. There's times when He did speak, and there's times when He didn't speak. And where we are right now, we need to be speaking, because it is a mass manipulation going on. People don't understand where it's coming from, how it got here, how we got to this point, how we stepped back, went back into time to get even to this place and time where we are, where we should be. I felt like we were going in a good course direction. I'm not saying that this country was perfect, nor is it perfect, but we were going in a pretty good direction as far as learning to get along better with one another, or at least hold it back, you know, and working together. and get some healing going on. And there were some deep-seated roots of emotions. I ain't saying everybody was there, but at least it wasn't so out in the open right now with this division. And maybe people think that that's a good thing that is out in the open, and they can. But my question is, what's your aim? What's your end game? Trying to overthrow, or are you trying to have everyone come together and unite? But if I know the truth, what I'm trying to present to you is the truth is not that. The truth is they are doing mass manipulation, have been doing mass manipulations, and what we see now is the fruits of that labor coming out in the open, and people are bought into their feelings, and they can't see past their feelings to receive truth, So Jesus had the same conflict as well. He was telling these people truth, and they couldn't understand. How can they give this man? How could this man give us his flesh to eat? Things like that they wasn't understanding. All they had to do is take time to understand. Ask the man, what he meant by that. He didn't mean by cannibalism. He meant something totally different, and he would have explained it to you. Or if you would have just opened up your mind and understand, you would have realized what he was trying to say. But that ain't the only issue that he had trouble with. He had a lot of combative confrontations with either church leaders as far as and people in the public that couldn't understand what he was saying. He even went as far to say, how are my words escaping you? How come you cannot understand what I'm saying? Those aren't exact words, but he basically said that. Like, how come you can't hear me? And then he had to just sum it up. You're the children of the devil. You do what your father wants. You can't come to me unless the Father draw you. And such things like that, like wisdom won't overtake you. Wisdom won't infiltrate into your soul, into your spirit, because you don't belong to wisdom. You won't give God an open chance. You won't let your mind be open to even come to God. And I'm not saying that's everybody. There's just certain individuals you run into. So basically, I also wanted to talk about like tracking down evil, right? The closer you get and the more secretive you get, the closer you get to evil. So if you want to track evil down, like for instance, our country is a major exporter of pornography. That's our major export. Not nothing wholesome and good that can help people. In fact, it tears and brings communities apart, not in worlds and civilizations apart, because you're doing what? You're giving people access to evil, sin, and crime rates go up, and rape and all this other stuff goes up. Child pornography, child molestations, all this wickedness. Our evil rulers that have sought to rule over us, whoever they might be, are close to evil. The closer you get to evil, the more secretive you get. The closer you get to the devil, the closer you get to pure evil and just wickedness and debauchery and unspeakable evils. Okay, so the closer you get to like evil, for instance, let's say Hollywood or the main stuff like that. Look at the area Hollywood's in, California. Look what's going on around California. I ain't saying everywhere in California, but that's a thick evil over there going on, and debauchery. They've overtaken the Los Angeles, San Francisco. They've been overtaking that area. The closer you get to the hot seat of evil, the worse the people are brainwashed to accept that evil. The Sodom and Gomorrah of society, you know what I mean? So the closer you get to evil, the worse it is. And I'm not saying Hollywood is the only place, because we got epicenters of wickedness all throughout our country, all throughout the world. Our leaders are close to these entities. entities. You gotta dig, you gotta research the information, you find out that they are. Ain't no mystery that they are close. There's an easy track record to prove. All God had me do was connect revelations to the current events and then to the people that are in charge now, and you find the devil at the root of it. I'm sorry, but he does go to the root. I don't care. It's beyond color lines. It's beyond these type of lines that these people know are cunning like the devil and know how to figure out ways of division, divide, and manipulation. That's what the devil does, okay? If you don't know nothing about the devil, then you won't know how to discern what's going on in your time. You might have, they'll use your freedom, say, so take the word liberal or liber. You want to be liberated. You want to be liberated from God's rules and regulations that you might that keep you down, keep you oppressed. You want to be free of the consequences of what someone might say is the consequences of these actions. You want to be free of that, even though the consequences also have a way of saying, no, you can't have freedom because I'm still going to get you. You want to commit gross sexual immorality, AIDS ain't sitting there trying to hear your argument. It's coming, and you open it in success, and you're susceptible to that consequence. This basically mindset of wanting to be liberated is a natural human mindset. You don't want people telling you what you can and cannot do. The more you throw off those restraints, the easier it is for you to live your life. And then you can't just throw those restraints off on an individual basis because society is set up on rules and regulations. You might be over here free, you want to be free. I got a tendency to want to be a sociopath and kill people. So I think I should be able to do that. No. Everybody's on the same page as you. You want to do that? You might as well find you somewhere that allows that to go live there, which is I don't know a place like that, but there are places like that, and they have made rules for that. So if you want to be free to do whatever you want to do, you can't just sit there. So you need to change the mindset of all the people around you to be able to accept that, right? You got to have those people think like you. And if then those that are are coming against you that won't bend, you have to start passing rules and regulations to silence them, to shut them up, re-educate them, try to infiltrate them, try to shame them, try to mess them up, because they won't stop. God is not giving us the privilege to decide what is right and what is wrong. If he created us, he gets to set those boundaries. And he doesn't do that out of tyranny. He does it out of love. He's trying to tell us that the devil is evil. He's trying to get you guys wrapped up in this mindset. It's going to harm you. It's going to harm your families. You're not going to repopulate. You're going to not be in non-existence because of these rules and these ways of living. Not just that, ultimately, there ain't no third place. It's either heaven or it's hell. And you ain't coming to heaven with that on you, and you ain't coming to heaven doing that. You want to be free of my rule and regulations? Well, you can go live with all other free folks that ain't free no more. And that is a place called Hades, Tartarus, hell. And the consequences of those people, the consequences of the devil, because he wanted to be free and liberal. He said, you want to go live with your liberator? Go live there. I don't want you to. I'm going to give you information and wisdom so you don't end up there. But if you do end up there, that'll be your own doing. And it will become after you purposely shunned away all the warning signs that I gave you throughout life. All the people I sent your way. All the evidence. All the conscious pricks. All the things that God has done. If you end up in hell, it ain't going to be because it was just by accident. You rebelled your way there. And you got only person that can really sit you down and walk you through that, which he will do, and you don't want to have that sit down with him, it's going to be the Lord Jesus Christ. And he's going to let you know all the times and how you got to where you are. And it's because you did this, you said no that many times. So our leaders are, not all, our leaders and our people now are saturated in wickedness. This is what we're seeing. Everybody wants to go their own way. But then there's also righteous folks that are standing up for righteousness. You're going to just have to just take the blows, because you are here to present the case. You ain't here to change the mind. You're trying to do the best you can. Do it as lovingly and as humbly as you can. And sometimes some folk are different classes of saints in God's kingdom. Some folks are prophets. They're going to speak more abruptly to truth. Some folks are edifiers, and they can be a little more sensitive. But we should all be learning, from God to do everything within love, of course, like He instructs. And that's our hope. I hope that people can take that is not to just say we are against what you're against and you're dumb for believing it. No, that's not what we're saying. We're saying we need you to stop being bullheaded, stop being argumentative, and open up your mind so you can at least hear what we are saying, hear our side of the argument, and you can make a wholesome decision off of that information. Because the alternative, whether you agree with it or not, you still need to know it. And it's not going to be a pretty sight. So have a discussion, if you will, of wits, discussion of information. Say, hey, look here. We have folks that have been researching issues and are here to help you get to where you need to be, and to give the information in a nice, pure, solid setting, so you can have a fighting chance, and for your family, and against the folks that are purposely brainwashing us, our children, and societies, because they have an agenda that is not going to be the agenda that you have. In the end, freedoms will be lost, tyranny will reign, and the prosperity you have won't do you a bit of good in eternity if you don't send nothing up to heaven or even be to heaven to enjoy it. So God bless you guys, and I just want us to pray and we open up our eyes and learn some of the other sides of the issues. Don't just dismiss a liberal minded person. Maybe take the time to see what they are at in love, so you can maybe administer to them and help them kind of see truth if they allow you to do it. God bless. Peace out. Chance of T.